Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Executive Consultant Tim Devine. I'm from Portland, Maine, and I am excited to share some information tonight about Ambit Energy. We are going to go through a presentation and talk about our company and how you make money with this concept. We're going to share some information about the most incredible announcement, the most recent announcement that we just found out about, and a new market that we're going to be embarking on in about 5 weeks from now. So going to share that information, going to go through this quick. We have a lot of content to cover, so I'm going to get started right away here, and just want to welcome you for joining us. Got to make a couple adjustments here with the computer, and we are underway. Okay, so my story real quick, you guys. I'm a business owner up here in Portland, Maine. Been self-employed for about 25 years, have done very well in business, done a lot of different things. You know, it's funny, I was telling a story last night. I've done things like run convenience stores and service stations and car washes and car dealerships, and just kind of bounced around more or less in the auto industry, primarily around service stations and gas stations. And a lot of those businesses were successful, but I got away from those businesses because I realized that's not what I wanted to do. That's not where I wanted to spend the rest of my life. And so there are a lot of different reasons for that. And most of it equates to headaches and, just being absorbed and frustrated all the time. And, I had a good income, but had a lot of stress level that came along with that. So with that was my background. And I also, during that 25-year period of time, I'd been involved in the direct sales industry with some different companies, had a little bit of success with a couple of companies, but never really had the success that I was looking for, and until I found Ambit Energy. Now, a lot of times people think, well, why would I do this? Why would I want to do this? Why would I invest my time? Well, there's three ways to look at time. There's wasting time, there's spending time, and there's investing time. And I believe that with Ambit Energy, you're investing pockets of time. You're investing time, and you're going to get a return on that. When you invest, you get a return. And so when you look at your why would I want to do this? What's important to you in your life? What are the reasons that you would want to invest your time here? And so a lot of people have a lot of different reasons, and mine were getting my life back. Having time. Having a lot of money or having a significant amount of money is great, but when you don't have any time, it's not good. You can't replace time. You can replace money, but you cannot replace time. And that's what I realized. And what we've got here is a way to create time. And I'll explain that as we go through the presentation. For a lot of people, it's just having a little extra money, just taking the edge off. You know what I mean? Just there's so many people that are under stress financially, and they're living week to week, and at the end of the month, there's nothing left. And so for a lot of people, it's that. Reducing debt, getting rid of credit card debt, getting rid of college education debt, getting rid of, just debt that's been hanging over your head for years. That may be one. More time with your family. Again, I kind of cover that. Providing more to your church or charity. There's a charity that I'm involved with right now that I'm very, very passionate about, and it's helping out, veterans, wounded veterans and whatnot, and just it's an incredible place in northern Maine called House in the Woods that my wife and I have gotten behind, and to be able to write checks, be able to do things and help out charities, it's a big deal. Building a savings, most people in America cannot write a check for $500. Most people do not have a savings account. It's very sad. Children's college education, again, that's a big one for a lot of people. I know there's some people on my team that's huge for them, not having big college loans and all kinds of debt when your kids get out of college. My daughter right now is in a very good school. She's a great student, and we're paying for it out of pocket with our Ambit Energy money. It's a great thing. And total financial freedom. For people that want executive level pay, that's here as well. And so we're going to go through that. Why is Ambit the right choice, the right company? You guys, I am going to paint a picture tonight. We are on a path right now that is absolutely incredible, and we're going to equate it to some things that have happened in the past with other companies and other businesses that have incredible success stories. So our company is doing some things that no other company on planet Earth has ever done. With the amount of territory that we're in and what we've done as a company, you guys, there's only a handful of companies around the world that do over $1 billion a year in revenue. And there's a very, very, very few that have done it in the amount of time that we have, and nobody has done it in the size territory that we have. So we've done something that nobody else has ever done in business. In expanding industry, we're going to talk about energy deregulation. It's going on around America. It's going on around the world. You know, what a lot of these governments have figured out is that when you open up any monopoly to the private sector, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for consumers. It's a good thing for innovation. It's a good thing for business. It's just a very, very healthy thing. So right now, around the country and around the world, energy deregulation is taking place, and we are on the forefront of this cutting-edge trend that's happening right now. The perfect product. You know, it's crazy because when you think about it, we don't sell anything. Everybody's already buying it. Everybody has to have energy. People are addicted to it. It's a subconscious thing that people don't even think about. I was talking to a couple people today, business owners that aren't involved with our company, and they're looking at me going, you know what? Everybody has to have it. They pay for it before they pay for anything else. I said, you're right. The greatest opportunity. You guys, right now, in this time that we sit in right now today, we are in the best time of this company. I am convinced. I just saw Kevin Doe's on there. Kevin, thanks for joining us. Great guy right there. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit more about our company. You know, our company, you guys, we have an extraordinary company for a lot of different reasons, but one of the primary reasons is our co-founders. And so our two co-founders are very unique, very highly intelligent business people that have very fascinating backgrounds. One of our co-founders, Jerry Thompson Jr., his grandfather more or less came up with the concept of the convenience store. And as we go through this presentation tonight, I'm going to paint a picture for you because Jerry's grandfather started the idea of the convenience store that turned into 7-Eleven, that turned into the biggest franchise opportunity on planet Earth. So 7-Eleven, it dwarfs McDonald's, it dwarfs Starbucks. You know, there's no close second. So when you think about it, Jerry's grandfather and him and his uncles helped grow that company, biggest franchise in the world. Well, you want to know where their first international expansion was? You know, 7-Eleven started in Dallas and grew around that territory in that area and then expanded around the country. Their first international expansion was the country of Japan. Okay? Talk about history repeating itself. You know, so again, it's kind of a cool trend. And when you think about our co-founders, one of the things that they did when they started our company, before we even had customers, before we really even launched, Jerry had a vision statement to become the finest and most respected energy provider. You know, that was very important to Jerry, just to do it right. You know, he says he could have grown this company a lot faster, but they wanted to do things a certain way. They wanted to control the growth. They wanted to move from territory to territory and do it the right way. And so to become the finest and most respected, that's our vision statement. Now with that, on the left, you see Chris Chambliss. He is our CMO. Chris has an incredible, fascinating background as well. He helped take a company during the deregulation of telecom up over to $1 billion in revenue in a very, very short period of time. And matter of fact, it was the fastest company to do it at the time. And he sat on the board of that company. And he watched that growth. It was extremely high growth that happened that just blew people's minds. And it had never happened before in the direct sales industry either. So the other thing that's cool is when you think about what Chris and Jerry have done, Chris has helped two people to go over $1 billion in revenue in a very short period of time. I do not believe anybody else in the world has ever done that with two companies in direct sales. The only reason that Chris is not involved with that other company is because it had to do with selling long distance, which no longer exists. So when your service no longer exists, you no longer have a company. So, but Chris brings that experience to the table, all the things that worked and all the things that maybe didn't work. And when you think about it, when you look at telecom, how much were telecom bills back in the day? And then you look at energy bills. Well, energy bills are about 5 times higher, and energy is not going away. So like long distance, energy is not going away. We're in the right place. A couple accolades real quick. We were named the 12th largest direct seller worldwide in direct sales and #1 direct seller of energy in the world. Now, one of the things I'm going to go back and talk about real quick is Chris Chambliss also sits on the board of the DSA, the Direct Selling Association, which the DSA, you guys, it's kind of like the police force of the industry worldwide. When one of your CEOs, one of your owners is a board member with the DSA, that's a good thing. Okay, that sets us apart from most companies. And so when you think about that, we're the number one direct seller of energy worldwide, and we're number 12 in the world. There's only a handful of companies that do over $1 billion in revenue, and we're in that company. Okay, we're one of those top companies. I think there's only 13 or 14. So, but no other company has done it in the period of time that we've done it, and the amount of territory and space that we've done it in. Most companies that do over $1 billion, and matter of fact, every company that does over $1 billion in revenue, they do it in multiple countries. Some do it in 50, 60, 70 countries. I know Amway does it in over 100 countries, and they do it with lots of different products. Some of them do it with catalogs full of products. We just sell energy. The reason why we're having our incredible growth and our success is we only focus on energy. That's where we're going to stay. And we've earned JD Power Award. We've earned 12 to date for number one in customer service. That's a great accolade. And here's one that's really cool. In 2010, when our company was just over 3 years old, we were named the fastest growing privately held company in North America. No other company in direct sales. Now think about this. We've got an industry that's a $180 billion a year industry, been around for 130 years. There's over 3,000 companies in this industry on any given year. And we were named the fastest growing privately held company in North America. No other company has ever received that award in direct sales. So again, we could go on and on with accolades, guys, but for the sake of time, we're going to move on. Our industry, most people understand power. Most people learned that when they were 3 years old, flipping on a light switch. You know, you kind of get it. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time talking about power. But what's going on right now is the wave is coming. The energy monopolies are being broken up. Whenever you have a monopoly in any space, it's not good. When customers do not have more than one choice, it is not good. And so what's happening is, with these monopolies being broken up, it benefits consumers more than anybody. So that's a good thing, whether someone's going to be a customer or a consultant. What we have to offer is, you should be very, very proud of what we're talking to people about. Now customers have the right to choose, and the timing is perfect. One thing I'll talk about too real quick is, in Maine, there was a news article that came out in the Bangor Daily News, and it pointed out all the different energy providers that were selling power in Maine since deregulation happened here. Ambit Energy was the #1 company for saving customers money in the state of Maine. Again, that's a good thing. It's something we need to be proud of. Our current markets, you know, when you look at our current markets right now, our market size is 116 billion with potential of 71 million customers. We have less than 3% of those orange states, those territories. So if you look at those orange states, those are the states that we're in, and we have less than 3% of the market in those states. So we opened in Texas, and then eventually moved over to New York, and then opened in Illinois. You guys, Texas is like between 6 and 7%. Most of the other states are around 1%. So if you're in one of those other states, and even in Texas, I mean, Texas is having rapid growth to this day. It hasn't stopped. But if you're in any of those other states, when you think about it, 1%, if you talk to 100 people, one of them may be a customer for Ambit Energy. What does that equate to? An incredible opportunity for you and I. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about this expansion that's happening. My wife and I are actually extremely excited. We've been working on this for quite a while, but we're getting ready to move over to Japan. We're going to live in Osaka, and our company is going to have a corporate office in Osaka, and we're going to have corporate meetings in Osaka and Tokyo, and we're going to be involved in helping out with those meetings and traveling back and forth and traveling all around the country on bullet planes and subways and, you know, every other way you can get around. We're just going to be running all over the country of Japan and sharing this opportunity. And there's a couple of things I want to point out as we go through this slide. This is now my favorite slide. Now, if you go back to that other slide and you look at the potential customers, 71 million, this one expansion alone is a potential customer list of almost 80 million customers. Guys, we've over doubled in one expansion. That's never happened before in this company. And so we're going to talk a little bit about Japan just for a few minutes. You know, that country deregulated about 8 months ago. It's the largest single territory in the world to deregulate. Okay, that's huge. And their energy prices are very high there. And people over there are very frugal. They're very smart. They're very good with their money in Japan. They're much better than America. I hate to say it, but they know how to save money, and they know how to budget, and they're very, very frugal. So saving money, we're going to have a guaranteed savings plan in Japan. This is going to be incredible for consumers. They're going to love it. And for people that take advantage of the opportunity, you guys, this is a very respected industry over in Japan. You know, it's all based on relationships and trust. When somebody says they're going to do something, they actually do it. And it's shameful if they don't. People live with integrity and their word. So it's a whole different ballgame over there. And I was talking to Chris Chambliss the other night, and it's funny because when you hear these little stories, he was telling me that he met with the president of Amway Japan, the guy that heads up Amway Japan, and he's the guy. I mean, he's the dude that makes it happen over there. And him and Chris had lunch, and through a couple of different conversations, they met through some other people. And when they sat down, Amway they do between 11 and $12 billion a year worldwide. Amway is the largest company in direct sales currently. That's going to change. But they're the largest, and they do business in over 100 countries. So think about this, real quick math quiz. Over 100 countries, they've been around for 60 years. In just that one country of Japan, out of the 11 to 12 billion dollars they do annually, $1 billion is done in Japan, you guys. $1 billion, 10% of that company is done in Japan alone. And so when Amway was making their global expansion years ago, and they moved over to Asia, that's when that company just blew up. They went to a whole nother category when that happened. The same thing is happening. History is repeating itself. And so when you think about it, it was funny because Chris told me that when he was talking to the president of Amway Japan, and he was talking about what's going to happen and what we do, he said you could see it in his eyes. The guy was envious. He was envious. He told Chris, he said, man, you guys are going to do really, really well here. He was beside himself because he sat there and he scratched his head and he's like, you don't actually sell anything, do you? You offer a service and you save people money. The guy was blown away. So when you think about it, guys, this is huge. All the stars are lining up here. Market size of 70 billion with potential customers of 79 million. Guys, again, I'm going to paint a picture here tonight. I really want you to think about this. We need to spend time talking to people every single day, multiple people every single day. Do you know anybody in Japan? Do you know anybody that knows anybody in Japan? You guys, I had that conversation a minimum of 10 times today. And so, you're going to get some people that say no. But you know what Jay figured out? They kind of did a test. They figured that between 1 and 2 people out of 10 have a connection somehow to Japan. So that's huge. Those are great numbers. But you know what? You've got to take the initiative to go out there. And I've told some people recently, I feel like Paul Revere. I felt like that for about the last month, telling people the redcoats are coming. The redcoats are coming. Guys, this country is about to open up. It's the biggest deal for our company. And so you want to get a piece of that action, but you want to do it right. You want to do it right. You want to find connections with people that know people over in Japan. If you're just blasting out emails and blasting out stuff on Facebook and social media, guys, you want to be careful. You do not want to ruin or tarnish the integrity of our company, okay? It's very, very important. We need to do things right. This is about relationships with people that know people and integrity. That's very big over in Japan, okay? So we need to make sure we preserve that. And we need to make sure we do it with class and integrity and honesty, okay? Very, very important. How does it work? Again, I'm going to go through this quick. Energy deregulation's been broken up. There's generation companies that make the power. We sell it, and then your local incumbent delivers the power. So basically, we come in as a retail energy service provider, and we sell the energy. Your local incumbent is still going to handle the lines and do all the billing. Our service, we have an incredible service. For customers, everybody uses it. There's no cost to switch. Nothing changes for consumers. It's seamless. It's very user-friendly for our consumers. For business owners, there's no inventory, no deliveries, no collections, no employees. That is music to business owners. No employees, no collections. You don't have to, have a garage full of products or a warehouse full of products. You don't have to have $500,000 worth of inventory to run a business here, you guys. It's a dream business. Impressive savings, guaranteed savings, and in some markets we have a written guaranteed savings plan. That's incredible. And over in Japan we're going to have the same thing. Guys, it doesn't get any better. To have a written guaranteed savings plan in a brand new market, that is absolutely huge. Our customers get a lot of perks, welcome gifts for enrolling. They can earn travel reward points. They have a website if they want to participate in those points, and they can also refer customers and earn travel package upgrades and also free energy. So not only can consultants earn free energy, but customers can earn free energy as well. Now, I'm not sure exactly how this is all going to take place in Japan, so we do not want to talk about free energy and travel reward points and all those things when we're having conversations with people in Japan, because that information has not been revealed yet. So we want to be very honest, and we want to be careful about what we share. And matter of fact, a week from now, we are supposed to have the Japan website. You'll have a website that you can show people that's going to be for Japan. And as I understand, there's also going to be some videos coming out. Our opportunity, we're going to talk about our opportunity and talk about where the money comes from, and just kind of paint a picture. If you were to do these things, this is what could potentially happen for you. Why did Ambit Energy choose direct sales? Well, I'm going to tell a real quick story here and tell you about Jerry Thompson Jr. when he met with Chris Chambliss. When he started to build this company and form this company, he was fascinated with deregulation, and he realized it was going to be the next big thing. And he met with Chris because someone had said to him that, hey, there's this guy, Chris Chambliss, he's from Dallas as well. You should meet with him. He took a company to over $1 billion in revenue using direct sales. And what they figured out was it was a very low cost to get customers with a high acquisition rate, or a high retention rate. So they met over a turkey sandwich in Dallas on a Friday. On Monday, they were shaking hands, and they started to formulate Ambit Energy. Well, the reason why we use direct sales, guys, we embrace the #1 way to go out there and get consultants and customers and spread the word. It's called word of mouth, okay? There's no business out there, there's no form of advertising that comes close to word of mouth. Warm market, sharing an idea or a good experience with a friend or a loved one. Nothing touches that. Even traditional business owners will tell you when they have a word of mouth referral, it is their best referral. It is their best business. Any company will tell you that. So we embrace that model. We make recommendations every day. We usually don't get paid for them. Think about Google. How many times have you told somebody about Google, Facebook, a great movie, a great restaurant? Did they ever pay you? Well, here you get paid for that. $75 one time to start up, guys. That's the fee. And in the industry-wide, that is a very, very low. It's one of the lowest startup costs in the industry, okay? Because we don't have any products to sell. We're not loading you up with a bunch of stuff to go out there and try to sell to your friends. $25 a month is what your overhead is to run your business. I look at that sometimes and I kind of chuckle inside, because I know what it costs to run our traditional businesses. It would scare you. And so with that, $25 a month, you got no paperwork, you got no collections, you're not out there trying to keep track of everything. It's all done on your website. Flexible schedule. Most people in today's day and age do not have extra time. They use up all their time. Why is this great? This is a way you can go out there and go about your daily life, and you can do this on your own terms, on your own schedule, part-time, weave it in and out of your day when you're running into people. So it's a flexible schedule. There's no boss here. Nobody's going to give you a hard time for what you didn't do. Incredible tax benefits, unlimited income potential. Ask yourself this: what's in it for me? Think about that why. Think about that reason, what's important to you. Is it your kids? Is it having more time with your kids? Is it taking them on a family vacation that you haven't been able to take them on? Is it getting rid of debt? Is it putting a child through college? Is it more time with your spouse? So think about what it is, and then can I do it? Can you do it is really kind of a silly question again, because you can do it. It's, do you want to do it? Here's my favorite slide, other than the Japan slide now. This is my second favorite now. This is why our company is so successful. We only do two things, okay? We gather a handful of loyal customers, and we show other people how to do the same thing. What do I mean by that? We're not out there selling electricity to people, knocking on doors, walking up and down Main Street. We're having friends and loved ones try the service. Hey, try the service. Do me a favor. We teach people what to say. We have to reel it in for most people because most people oversell it. And we tell them, don't say that. Slow down. Ask people to try the service and do a favor for you. And then we look for motivated people that get it, that get that concept, that are looking, that have a big why, and we help them build a business. Our compensation plan works like this. How do we get paid? When you sign up $75, you start your business, it's one time, and then you activate your website for $25. When you activate your website, those 2 little laptops up top are going to be 2 bonus points that you're going to get. When you upgrade the service for your home, that's that house down on the left-hand side, you upgrade and connect your service, that's another customer point. So you've got 3 customer points. Go out there and get 2 more customers, Ambit's going to pay you $100. So this is how you start to make money. This is how you get your investment back. Remember that 75 and 25 to get started? Well, you got it back by getting 2 customers plus yourself. Go out there and get some more customers, earn more bonus money. We're in a promotion period right now where it's actually more than what I'm showing you. But basically the idea is you can go out, the first way you can make money with Ambit Energy is by going out and getting some customers and getting towards your free energy. 526 is our compensation plan. I'm going to get into the 2. The 5 was those 5 customer points. The 2 is let's go out there and share this idea with a couple of people that want to get started. You start sharing this idea, you're going to get some no's, some yeses, some maybes, some laters, some not right nows, and some absolutelys. You're going to get everything under the sun. Okay, so the idea is to learn what to say and learn how to share it properly and get a couple people started and help them earn their investment back right away. When you do that, they're going to get their investment back and you're going to get a matching bonus for helping them. That's the second way that we make money, is by making overrides and team bonuses when we help other people get customers. So that's the 2. 6 is we help 6 people do the same thing, get their money back and get their investment back and get their 5 customer points, and you promote to RC. RC means you get a raise, regional consultant, you give yourself a 55% raise in pay. What do I mean by that? Well, when you do that very same thing, when you start building that RC team, you're going to get 155 rather than 100 when you help someone get started and earn their investment back. So that's, you give yourself a 55% raise. You start to earn overrides as well. You start to earn overrides in your RC code when other people help other people. Now think about this. You ever thought about the idea of making money while you sleep? Well, if you have people, and when you have people in a team growing in Japan, because of the time zone, you are going to start making money while you sleep. That's what's going to happen. That's a good thing. Senior consultant, you give yourself another raise. You make more money for helping people do the very same thing and make more money on your overrides when that team grows. Executive consultant, again, more money. You give yourself another raise. So think about this. If you sit down with somebody and get them involved with this program, and they go out and they get a couple customers plus upgrade their home, you're going to get $315. Well, right now as an executive, there's a promotional period where if you help people get 10 customer points, you're going to make almost $1,000. And as a senior, I think it's $705, and as a regional, it's $440 or something like that, $490. So think about this: you get somebody started and help them get working towards their free energy and get that bonus money. They're going to make some good money too. They're going to make like $300 if they get their 10 points right away. So you want to help people get that. You don't want to leave that money on the table, okay? And you also want to get that yourself. That is going to go through February 24th, that you can enroll people and they can be eligible for that bonus money. So that's very important. Our company does promotional periods like this all the time. It's always different, but man, they put a lot of money on the table. So at executive, you're going to make overrides as well, the 215 to unlimited levels, making money while you sleep, while people are signing up people and helping them get customers with a guaranteed savings program across the world over in Japan. At national, same thing, another raise, more overrides. Now, I just want to point out, this is team bonus money that you're going to make. We've showed you the first way is by accumulating some customers. The second way is by building a team and earning these. These are weekly bonuses that are paid Friday to Friday. Anything that's in by Friday gets paid by the following Friday. But that's not the biggest money here in our program. That's the short game. Now I want to talk about the long game. The long game is residual income. What is residual income? Most of us are out there trading hours for dollars, trading time for money, okay? Getting paid what somebody else thinks you're worth, all right? Now, being business owners, they're probably out there getting paid less than what they're worth because they love the freedom of being self-employed. And when they actually look at their hourly wage, it's sad in most cases, not all. But basically, the picture I want to paint here is there's a thing called residual income that most people on planet Earth will never have access to. But you and I have access to this. What do I mean by that? Basically, when you do work one time and you do it correctly, you put yourself in a position to get paid over and over and over and over again for work that you did one time. A good way to think about it, an analogy is a musician that wrote a hit single years ago, and that's still producing revenue for themselves or their family. A great example is Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, the Beatles. They recorded music one time years ago, and those families' estates are still making millions of dollars. Now, that's the extreme. But there are other examples, authors, movie stars, insurance agents. A lot of people in the insurance industry are able to do that. With Ambit Energy, we get paid when people pay their power bill every single month, a bill that they just absolutely have to pay. They do it subconsciously. They don't even think about it. As a matter of fact, it's one of the first bills in the household that gets paid because they do not want to take cold showers in the dark. Nobody wants their power shut off. And we've learned that. So it's a subconscious thing. It's just a natural reaction to pay that power bill. And so if you get involved and you went out there and you got 3 marketing consultants, we're going to go through a chart here and just use an example and show you how you can make money through this. And I'm going to go to one slide. Basically what happens is you get started and you are a marketing consultant and you sign up 3 marketing consultants on level 1. And those 3 go get 3 more, which turns into 9. So all 9 of those go out and get 3 more, which turns into 27. All 27 of those went and got 3 more. So this is like a perfect scenario. If this were to happen, it's funny because there's never a perfect scenario. It's kind of like church. Church is perfect until you put people in it, and then it's a mess. And I'm kidding when I say that, but kind of not really. So with that, what happens is, with this scenario here, going down through 7 levels, you'd have about 3,300 consultants on your team if that math continued to go through that chart that way. If you got 20 customers yourself, you went out and you got 20 customers to switch over their power, you want 15 to earn free power anyway, so you definitely want to get that out of the way. You get to 20 and you'll unlock all of the compensation plan with the residual income. You want to eventually have 20. So with that, if everybody on your team averaged 3 customers, so you've got that team of 3,300 and they averaged 3 customers apiece. You're going to get some people involved, they're going to get 1 customer themselves. You're going to get some people involved that are going to get 10 customers. You're going to get some people that are going to get 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. You're going to get everything under the sun. So if that averaged 3 and you had 10,000 customers on your team with a band 1 power bill, which is a small power bill, you'd have about $12,000 a month in residual income. Okay, residual income based on people paying their power bill every single month, something they can't do without. If they're saving them money and they like the service, they're not going to quit. This isn't a product-based company where people, the first thing they do when money gets tight is they cut out all the stuff that isn't necessary, right? Well, nobody cancels their power. They just don't do it, you guys. So that's what we've got. When you've got something that people can't live without, that puts you in a very, very good place. So think about that, 12 grand a month. What changes in your life? When we go back to that why in the beginning of the presentation, the things that are important to you, the things that if you could flip a switch and change some things in your life, what would they be? For most of it, it's not getting rich. It's not just chasing piles of money. Okay, money's great, but it's not the goal. For me, it's not the goal. It's taking money out of the equation so that you don't have to chase it. You get it to chase you. I learned that a long time ago from a mentor in this industry. He said, Tim, you want to learn how to make money chase you and you don't chase it. You want to have multiple income streams where money is coming in and you've got it working for you and you're not working for it. And you're not a slave to the grind. And I always listened to that advice and I thought, wow, that's fascinating. That's what we've got here with Ambit Energy, guys. The last thing I want to talk about, wrapping up our presentation, is another bonus, residual, on top of what I just showed you. These are bonuses that are layered in on top of what I showed you, with customers paying their bill every month. 25 cents per customer to unlimited levels in your regional code every time they pay their power bill. 50 cents for our seniors, 75 for executives, and $1 for nationals. Again, this is residual money every time people pay their power bill. It's kind of like the analogy of a toll booth. If you had a toll booth on the side of your house and everybody in your town every month had to drive by your toll booth and throw money in your basket, would that be a good thing? And that's the analogy that we're using here, because we're talking about power, something that people can't live without. You guys, why does it work? It's a service, not a product. Everybody's got to have it. The power of part-time, the power of investing pockets of time. You know who wins here with Ambit Energy? It's people like my friend Tom Jarvis that we pinned last night as a new regional consultant. Tom's a guy that got involved and just didn't stop. And Tom's a guy that's going to go to the top because he understands the philosophy of don't quit. It's not a get rich quick program. This is not a scratch ticket where people just kind of look for a quick free ride, a quick hit. That's not here. You know, and we don't want to represent our company that way. This is a long game of creating financial security for your family through finding good people and building a team that go out there and do things right and put together a stable income that's going to come in year after year after year after year for you and your family. So it's the power of part-time, putting in pockets of time here, there, and everywhere. Our lucrative compensation plan. Guys, our compensation plan is one of the best in the industry. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about that, but if you look at the top 100 earners in the world, there's a lot of people in our company that are on that list, and we're one of the youngest companies that have people on that list in the world. That speaks volumes to our compensation plan. The timing, you guys, if you just got involved, or you just got involved a year ago, or if you just got involved 4 years ago, I believe if you got involved 10 years ago, I believe you are in the right time right now, period. It's never been better by far. Trust me, you guys are going to hear success stories that are going to blow your minds after we launch Japan, and we go through the pre-launch and then the launch, and then get into the summer and next fall at Ambition. I remember years ago in the Amway business when they really got Asia going with different countries over there, and they had a magazine that came out company wide, and it was called the Amagram. And the Amagram was success stories about their company and the people that were the movers and the shakers and the people that were the top performers in the world. And you guys, it was people from Japan and people from South Korea. It was people from those countries that absolutely dominated that magazine. I mean, it was incredible. You would look at it and just go, man, this is amazing. You guys, the same thing is about to happen. And it's all about who do you know, or who do you know that knows somebody. We're all 6 degrees away from every single person, six connections away from every single person on planet Earth. So if you start prospecting and talking to people, trust me, you will run into people, and you want to do it right. Who do you know that's in the military? Who do you know that's in the educational system? You know, a lot of times they have exchange students and teachers that have gone over to Japan, and people over here. You know, it's just endless, the different ways that you can get in touch with people that know people from Japan. And I'll wrap up with this. John Maxwell, guy's an incredible author. He's written over 80 books. He's spoke publicly, I think over like 3,000 times. One of the most sought after speakers and authors in the world. And he had a saying that he said launched his career when he was really looking to take things to the next level. And this saying was, and this is really what launched his career and put him on the map. And it was, who do you know that I don't know that I should know? Guys, you need to start having those conversations. So with that, the last thing I'll say is we've got a couple trainings coming up. And there's a lot of great things going on in Ambit Energy. Get plugged into everything that's going on. Tune into everything you can. Like a sponge, you want to absorb information and ask questions and go out there and apply the information and make it happen and get your piece of the pie. So I'm going to come back on in just a minute and do some announcements. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. And that concludes our presentation.